Dr. Lucy Surhyel Newman. All right, she's a certified professional, specialist, as it were, and she has many parts that she doesn't always like to be boxed into one of them. All right, so tonight I have Lucy with us, and she's going to be speaking to you. She has moved, like all the bosses that I've worked with, all of them, they've moved beyond being my boss to becoming either a mentor or even becoming a confidant, or generally just forging different relationships on different level as it is. So we have the privilege of having Lucy with us tonight, and she's going to be speaking to us from human capacity development point of view. And of course, she's going to address the topic for us tonight.
Thank you, Shola, and happy birthday once again. Thank you very much for listing me as one of the people to speak today. It's a cherished privilege. And I also commend the way you ordered the sessions, starting from my sister Nana to Felicia and then to my brother Larry. It's like we're escalating and building momentum. So I want to thank you and congratulate you for what you're doing today. My prayer is that today is the least you'll ever be in your life. You'll continue to grow from glory to the glory of God, and impact many more lives in the name of Jesus. Yes, I agree with all the previous speakers, and I know that I was asked to speak about human capacity perspective, leading the way, and then turning around to help others. I was very happy about what my brother Larry said just before me, the issue and the fact that everybody is born a leader. Whenever I say that, people normally take it like, we hear you. But that's actually true. The only point I would like to pick Larry on, which I think everybody who knows me would expect, is that you refer to the leader, you're using he throughout. And I was like, yes, I'm waiting for my time to tell him that it's not only he that are leaders, she's can also be leaders, and they're great leaders and they're awesome ones, as we have seen. I'm sure he didn't mean bad, but I just thought out of humor, I should flag that.
I know. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. So I'm always a defender of the female version. We make awesome leaders. We lead in the family and we lead anytime we have the opportunity. So thank you, my brother, for that. We're all born leaders. So my short time that I'm going to be speaking, I will take leading the way. And I think my sister Nana has laid a solid foundation and Felicia built on that. And then Larry nailed it on the head. If we ever did not know anything, if we take away from this evening, is that everybody was a leader. The moment we breathe life, we were created to lead. If we were not created to lead, then God had made a big error in creating each and every one of us, because we all came with a purpose and what we're supposed to achieve. So leadership is actually just about influencing people to act and get results. It's not about manipulation. So therefore, it's not positional. And once you can breathe, you have the capacity for leadership. The question is whether you get to grow that innate capacity and polish it and optimize it is the issue. And it depends on the opportunities we have of capacity development, of mentoring and coaching. If we agree on that, therefore for me, I would like to use something. I love movies, so I'm going to use a lot of movie examples. On leading the way, there's this movie that's called Look Who Is Talking. The movie is about little children, babies, how they talk in their thought pattern and how they ask questions about things. So one of the first things I'll talk about in terms of leading the way is the fact that don't accept the fact that people automatically, because you showed up and you were introduced as a person in a leadership position, that they accept you. I know many people would think that because you showed up and you're the leader and everybody in the group has an obligation to follow you. If you do that, then you failed from day one. So I have 5 things that you should do to give you credibility to lead. The first one is that you imagine that everybody that is in your group is asking, who are you and why must I let you lead me? If you think about that question, even though they won't say it to your face, the only way you can do to get your respect and credibility and their buy-in is that you must lead on personal credibility and skills. If you rely on the fact that you have positional power, you failed. The second part is that, if you think about that question, even though they won't say it to your face, the only way you can do to get your respect and credibility and their buy-in is that you must lead on personal credibility and skills. If you rely on the fact that you have positional power, you failed. The second part is that, if you think about that question, even though they won't say it to your face, the only way you can do to get your respect and credibility and their buy-in is that you must lead on personal credibility and skills. If you rely on the fact that you have positional power, you failed. for you to imagine them saying, so what are we going to do and how do I contribute? You need to give them the clarity. Larry has spoken about that. I will not dwell too much about it. And also you need to show them, if that's where you're going, me as I am, how do I contribute? And you cannot tell them how they can contribute if you didn't get to know them. Many people come to leadership positions and they don't even know the team that is made up on their team. Find out everybody. It's not just about their qualification and experience. What is important to them? If you don't have any database to get that, create one-on-one meet time with them during the office hours, schedule meetings, and ask them just to speak about themselves. Then you can place them adequately and sell them an idea of how they can contribute. Then the other one that most leaders don't give is, can I leave? Must I stay? If I choose to stay, why? They should have the liberty to leave. You remember the story what Nana explained to us, that if the person doesn't have capacity, you can ask for the person to change, or you can change your shop. You can give them the opportunity after that engagement that they can leave, and it's okay to leave. And if they want to stay, is it a must that they must stay? And if they must stay, you want to sell them a vision that they'll buy into. They can't just stay because you said they should stay. If not, they'll become robots. So the last question I have is, imagine them telling you, sell me your vision. If I buy yours, I'll tell you mine. Don't call people and say, what do you think? The moment you do that, you've lost it. What you do is, this is me, my name is Tinuke, this is whom I am, this is how I've come, this is what I want to do here, and this is what I do. You think it will work? If they say yes, that's one buy-in. Do you think it's possible? Yes. Oh, really? Do you want to be part of this? Oh, fantastic. What do you think you'll be part of it? Then they can tell you that. So if you go that way, one of the things it will give you is you earn trust. You earn trust, you earn their trust to trust you. But when they decide to trust you, you have to keep that trust so that you can lead the way effectively. How do you keep that trust? You need to come with a mindset that your team is not the enemy. Some leaders have this error of looking at the team and saying this person, that happens when they have insecurities about their capacity or competency, or they're not caring people. Then you have to be sincere. Let them be able to trust you. You should be available so that whenever they need to confer with you for something, spot on, they can have access to you. You must communicate, communicate, communicate. Let them know what you're thinking about. Let them be part of what you're thinking about. Let them be part of that decision. Then you have to be authentic. That is what you see is what you get. You can't afford to show them different faces on different days. Let them be able to second guess whom you are. That is what will give them confidence to step out and go conquer the moon, because they know you are in their corner. Then you have to keep your promises too. That promise relates to both reward and punishment. If you say this is the punishment for not doing this, when they don't do it, deliver your promise. It's not a threat, it's a promise. If you say you'll get this done and this is what's coming to you, deliver your promise if it's a reward. Then the other one I see many people don't create is create time to play and be part of the play so that they will see your humanity. They will trust you more. You're not a team god, you're a human being, and they can aspire to go and be just like you. So having looked at the way to credibly lead the way, which is the first portion of what I'm supposed to speak about, I'll quickly take us to the second portion, which is turning to help others. So you can only turn to help others when one is comfortable in their own skin. Anybody who has insecurities is not ready to turn and help others. And without a personal philosophy on seeing the good in others, it is very hard, humanly speaking, to turn and help others. So I like the fact that Nana opened the session for us on the spiritual context. I'm a Christian by faith, even though I don't carry a Bible as a signpost. But those who have worked with me and who are close to me and have interacted with me can clearly say where I come from in terms of spiritual philosophy. Early in life, I came across something that really, really impacted me. When I was in my doctoral program, on the first day we had a project. Imagine yourself being on a program on day one. Early in the morning, what you're going to do for 3 hours is called epitaph. After lunch, what you're going to do for another 3 hours is called epitaph. I would like each and every person participating here today to think about this exercise. That was very impactful in my life. I went for my doctoral program, and in the morning from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, the professor came in and we all defined what epitaph is. Those of us watching, you can Google it as you watch. I won't waste our time telling us what an epitaph is. But the assignment was that we had 9 to 12 p.m. for us to define our epitaph. And we're given a timeline to finish, and that we should not write more than 15 words. We should write between 12 and 15 words, and each word should not be more than 10 alphabets. And your epitaph is what you want people to describe you as after you've left this side of the world, this side of existence. And they gave us 3 hours to do that. Those who could smoke could go out and smoke tea and coffee at the back of the room, garden. If you want to take a walk, you want to go to the library, come back and write your epitaph. At first, I was doing my Nigerian gra-gra, you know. I just sat down, I was murmuring, my body language was obviously, I was not in the tune with the class. And the lady came and said, "Oh, Lucy, looks like you have a problem." I said, "Yes." She said, "What's the problem?" I said, "I come from Nigeria, where I am in Africa, we don't talk about death. When we talk about death, it happens." So everybody was looking. And she said, "Oh, in that case, that means I'll see you tomorrow." I said, "Why?" She said, "That's the same thing we're doing in the afternoon." So after doing my gra-gra for a while, I noticed that everybody was working. So I scolded myself and I went and picked a piece of paper and I started working. We finished that, and around 12, she came back and said, "Have you finished?" She said, "Yes, we're going to go to lunch. 1 hour lunch, we'll be back at 1. When we came back at 1, there was fresh coffee, everything with paper, and for us to write something else. And the second stage was epitaph. And the exercise was from 1 o'clock to 4. You should write what you are going to start doing today to whenever that epitaph is required, whether it's next week, 2 weeks, or 50 years' time, that whenever that 15 words sentence is written, you'll be worthy of each of the words inside. So you come up with how you're going to be relating with people, how you're going to be working, how you're going to be doing that in all areas of your life, as an individual, as a member of society, as a member of family, as a member of corporate organization. By the time we finish that project, you would have clarity of what is most important to you, what you want to see in people, and how you would want to relate with people. And what that gave me was ability to choose and ability to go beyond the human flesh aspect of thinking self and also using people to progress. What you actually see is that everybody who has been sent to you through life, whether it's your house help or a driver or one of your colleagues or your bosses or anybody, there's a reason why your paths cross. And the fact that life is not a linear journey is actually a web of journeys. So the fact that you're a boss today does not mean you'll be a boss forever. That person who was reporting to you could actually progress faster tomorrow and be in a position where you need something from that person. So with that thinking, it gave each and every person in that room, we've all kept in touch with each other since 2008 today. And it gives one the grace to look at people and ask, why is this person in my space today? What is that person's role in my life? And why do I need this person today for my tomorrow? And why am I here for this person, for the person's tomorrow? And if you look to the scriptures, even the issue of Captain Newman, his house help was the source of his healing. He told him about the prophet. So I hope that leaders who are finding themselves in authority would see that somebody is in front of you, either as your direct report or as your colleague, your peer, or your boss, as somebody whom God has destined and nature has destined that you need each other at that time. And if you don't optimize that time as by playing your role, that time will not last forever. You all part, because that's the reality of life. And then when you look back, what can you claim as your impact in that person's life? And what can that person claim and say you did? So whenever you meet, just ask that I am responsible to lift this person from this level that this person is to the next level, so that when our roles part, I won't wish that I had that time again, but I will know that I've played my role. So some things have influenced me, which I will give as a reference. I like reading and I like giving people assignments.
That's interesting.
So if you finish this session, you just try and look up Japanese leadership values. Is fantastic. You look up the 10 standards of performance improvement. And look at Roger Kaufman's mega planning model, a framework for adding measurable value. to society. Once more, thank you very much, Shola. Happy birthday. A toast to you, your family, your life, and your ministry work. God bless you. Thank you very much.